This is the story of Willie Mae Wright, who was born and raised in Goodman, Mississippi. Miss Wright moved to Waterloo soon after graduating from Okolona Junior College in Mississippi. In 1960, she received a certification from Gates Business College in Waterloo. Several years after graduation from Gates, she got a job at John Deere. She experienced racial discrimination as her co-workers refused to train her for her position. Nonetheless, she remained at John Deere for 23 years. Ms. Wright participated in local organizations such as Waterloo Women's Civic Club, Community Development Board, Jesse Cosby Center, and League of Women Voters. She was also an auxiliary member of the Boy Scouts. She was the first African-American woman elected to the Waterloo City Council, where she served for 10 years. Tell me when and where were you born?
Well, it doesn't matter when, but where. I was born in Goodman, Mississippi, which is Holmes County.
Tell me when and why would you come to Waterloo?
After I got married in Mississippi, and my husband was here.
Okay.
So I followed my husband after we got married and came to Waterloo.
Okay. When was that? When did you get married?
I got married in '52, and I came to Waterloo December 21st, 1954.
Let's talk about your employment at John Deere. I know you'd worked there.
Oh, yeah. I didn't start working at John Deere until 1965.
1965, you worked at John Deere. Okay. What would you do there?
I was clerk typist.
And how long would you work there?
23 years.
23 years. Now, what was it like working in John Deere? What was then?
At first, it was horrible because I had tried to get on at John Deere's 5 years earlier.
Okay.
But of course, they weren't accepting any Negroes, as they called it that time.
Okay. All right.
And after completing Gates College, and I was recommended to Deere's, and the personnel manager saw who I was and what I was. They didn't need anybody. So 5 years later, after I had worked at vocational rehabilitation, I went on my own and applied, and I had to take a test. And of course, see, the Civil Rights Bill had been passed then, so that made a difference.
Okay, so we're talking mid-60s,
Yeah,
all right.
So I had to take the test, and I did. I passed the test without any errors. And I was hired immediately. Within hours after I'd taken the test, they called me, and I was to start work.
Okay, great. Now, again, we know that this was a time that the Waterloo community was racially charged.
Oh, yes.
We talk about discrimination, particularly on the job scene.
Oh, yes.
I know you had to experience some.
Of course I did when I first got there. And of course it wasn't too bad at first in that area. But because I was there and because of who I was, there were certain people that didn't want to work with me. And they had hired me, so here I am. What do? I was on 5 jobs within one day. Trying to get a place for me to fit where people could work with me. And finally, they settled me down in one place. And of course, it was running keyboard IBM machines.
It would take you would go through 5 different positions within John Deere before you would find a home there.
Yes.
This is because
of who I was.
Okay.
And I don't know if the complaints from the employees are just what, but they'd come and get me and say, you aren't supposed to be here, you're supposed to be over here. And I get there, and you were not supposed to be here, you're supposed to be over there. But wherever they came and took me, that's where I went, and not knowing how to do any of it, any of the job. Of course, it wasn't all just typing.
Okay.
It was other things that go along with knowing what to type and who to type for. And one incident, I was with one lady that was supposed to have trained me.
Okay, all right.
And it wasn't a matter of training because she wouldn't speak to me. She wouldn't say anything. So how could you train me if you're not going to say anything?
Okay.
And finally I spoke up and says, I'm here. you don't have to speak. I'm not going to quit, and I'm not going to give anybody a reason to fire me, so it looks like we're going to have to work together.
Uh-huh.
And surely enough, she didn't, and I had to go to the supervisor.
Okay.
And the supervisor talked to her to let her know that she had to train me to know what to do.
Mm-hmm. Wow, so here you are. So you would encounter similar situations like this until you'd get to your fifth
Yes.
spot.
Yes.
Your fifth spot.
Mm-hmm.
And I know there was a lady there that you worked with that was cooperative. She liked you. You guys.
Oh,
she trained
yes.
you. She did what everyone else was supposed to do.
Yes.
Who was
Yes.
this lady?
Her name was Connie Lima, and we were just like, we were real close, and we were like friends.
Okay.
And like family.
Okay.
And she would show me and tell me and have me work with her, and we did work real good.
Things would begin to smoothen out for you at John Deere at this point.
Oh, yeah.
And you would in fact retire from there. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
After how many years did you?
23.
23. Okay.
Yes.
But while you were working there, I know you were doing so much. Being full-time at John Deere, you're still very active in the community in a number of different ways.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was a member of different organizations even before I went to John Deere.
Okay.
And being a member, because I had just joined the League of Women Voters that year before I joined,
Okay.
and then by me working second shift, that's when I would attend. The league had a day session and a night session.
Okay.
So I would attend the day session of the League of Women Voters, and we would study on issues.
Okay. All right. And then, okay, so the League of Women Voters, tell me one thing about that you really enjoyed about being affiliated
Because
with that
you're
organization.
studying the laws.
The laws, okay.
Yeah, issues. You're studying issues, and you help to put laws on the books. And I was very interested in government. I like that.
And also, I know you're also involved in the Waterloo Women's Civic Club.
Yes,
right?
I was a member of that, and of course president several times.
Okay.
And as a matter of fact, I'm president of the Waterloo Women's Civic Club right now. That was started in 1955.
Okay.
And that's a black organization. A black lady started it in her kitchen.
Ah, okay. All right.
Just like Mr. Norman was talking about, people used to get burned out and they were poor and didn't have anything. She started this by helping people that were burned out and didn't have anything. It wasn't like you see people were getting aid and federal funding and that type of thing during those times. Okay. It was just whatever people would help to give you. So she started this to help the burn victims, people that got burned out. And from that, it just went into helping young people go to school because they weren't able to afford tuition and that. So for 55 years, we've been sending young students, high school graduates, to college. So we give stipends and we give scholarships.
Wow. Okay, this is great because, in fact, you know, we have a clipping for the Waterloo Courier. It shows you in a cotton club. You're in a dressed very nice.
Yes.
This for a fundraiser. Is that correct?
Yeah, that was for our benefit. Our banquet is for our benefit for our scholarship.
You were involved in the Waterloo Women's Civic Club. Mm-hmm. Also, I know you were involved in the Boy Scouts as well.
Oh, yeah, that started when my kids were little, when they were in school. I only had one son.
All right. Okay.
And, of course, at Longfellow School, they had Cub Scouts.
Okay.
And my son wanted to be a scout so badly. Mm-hmm. He came home and says, "Mom, you got to be a den mother." And I says, "I don't know how to be a den mother." But anyway, that's what they told him. If he had a den mother, he could be a scout.
Okay, all right.
Because they didn't have a den mother for the black boys.
Okay, all right.
And when he told me he wanted to be a scout, sure, I volunteered to be a den mother and would have the little boys his age that was in Longfellow School. They would come to my house for den, because I was the den mother.
Right.
They were called dens then.
Okay.
And would train them how to cook, do baking, and go on camping outfits, go on outings, and spend weekends with them in the woods cooking,
okay.
fishing, horseback
Getting down and
riding.
dirty.
I was that den mother that was with the Cub Scouts and the Boy Scouts.
Okay.
So they didn't have women in Boy Scouts,
Right. Okay.
but they made me an auxiliary member of Boy Scouts because they didn't have women involved in that.
So you're an auxiliary. You're an auxiliary mother
Of the Boy Scouts.
Of the Boy Scouts.
Yes,
Okay.
I was a
that.
den mother. But
Okay.
see, once they get older, they go from Cub Scouts to Boy Scouts.
Okay.
And then women are not involved when they become Boy Scouts.
Okay. I understand.
Only when they're Cub Scouts.
Okay. All right. Now I know there's an interesting story of a gentleman, because there's a black gentleman, you in a picture. He's a Boy Scout. Tell me the history of this gentleman and why.
He was the first black Boy Scout leader in the United States, and he was recognized. That was Mr. Page, Mr. J.L. Page, and he was from Waterloo. And when he turned 90 years old, they had him a birthday, and because he was recognized, and the mayor and council people and all of us attended his birthday because he had been recognized by the President of the United States as being a Boy Scout leader of starting Boy Scouts in Iowa.
He is the oldest, the first.
Yes.
A black Boy Scout.
Yes.
And here you are, the first den mother. Black den mother. So this is great. This is great. Okay. While doing it, also I know that you were busy doing those things. You have another very interesting photograph of you and Governor Ray. And I believe it was you and the governor and a group of other people standing behind the governor, and he's signing a document.
That was a document for the Jesse Cosby Neighborhood Senior Citizen Center.
Okay, all right.
At first, it was just the Jesse Cosby Center, named after a black person that was very active in the community. And because there were senior citizens, we gathered, and Governor Ray mandated and authorized funds for senior citizens of Northeast Iowa.
Okay.
So when he signed this document awarding these funds to Northeast Iowa, part of it was to go to Jesse Cosby for a senior citizen center. He invited us there for the signing.
Okay.
And we were in his office when he signed this for the monies to go to build a center for the seniors in Waterloo.
Okay, all right. So I know you're active in that center.
Yes, I was president of the board.
Not only active with the Jesse Cosby Center, but you were also active in a number of different organizations that kept you very, very busy. In fact, made you well known within the Waterloo community. I know this would lead to you becoming politically active. Let's talk a little bit about how you got involved in politics. Who inspired you, and why did you seek the role in politics that you took?
That came from church, and of course having a minister that was new. We in the AME we have a bishop that sends ministers there from different places of the United States. We had a minister to come in, and he was new, and every time something would go on, people would come in from out of town or in town locally. They would ask if you know Willie Mae Wright.
Okay.
And by him being new, he didn't know. He says, Willie Mae, so many people know you. Why don't you run for city council? Said they need somebody for city council. Why don't you get? I says, oh no, I don't want that. So surely enough, he got with other members, and they said, yes, come on, let's do it. And they got behind me, and I ran, and surely enough, served on city council for 10 years.
For 10 years? Oh my goodness.
Yes, five 2-year terms.
Okay, all right. It's a very interesting story because I know that you ran for the 3rd Ward.
For the first time.
For the first time, the very first time you
Yes.
ran.
And
Tell me,
I lost that.
Okay.
I lost that election because it was with a 3-time incumbent.
Okay.
But it was so close that it kind of turned people's eyes to kind of look at me. So that council, the next 2 years, there was a new mayor that was going to take office. And he says, you know, that Willie Mae Wright that ran for 3rd Ward, he was going to run for mayor.
Okay. All right.
He says, why don't we get her to run in my place? He was a council person.
Okay. All right.
So with him running for mayor, he wanted me to run for his position as being a ward.
Okay.
Because it had shaken and turned so many eyes. I gotten so many votes, so close to beating an incumbent. It kind of interests them, and maybe we should have somebody. And that's how I really got it, because I was on the ticket, and a ticket is made up of a mayor and 5 council people.
Okay, so now in the 4th ward, when you would run,
Yes, the wards had shifted.
Okay. Tell me, who you're running? Which mayor was this again? I'm sorry.
Delman Bowers.
Bowers, okay. So you're on the Bowers ticket.
Yes.
You're on the Bowers ticket, okay. And you guys, and what year was this you guys would be victorious?
1983.
83, and this would be the start of a long political.
83 to 93.
83 to 93. Okay, all right. I know while you were on city council, there were a number of things that you would be involved in within the community. There's a lot of things you would get accomplished during your terms. Specifically, I want to talk about an article in the Courier entitled "King's Birthday Declared City Holiday." Tell me your role in getting this holiday, Martin Luther King's birthday, passed.
Because when the national holiday was determined, the city did not recognize that it was a national holiday.
Okay.
And when that council meeting in January came, I refused to attend council meeting.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, I boycotted
okay.
council meeting because I told them it was a national holiday, just like Memorial Day, Labor Day. They recognize that, and which we don't meet on Monday nights. We meet on Tuesday nights. Martin Luther King's birthday was on a Monday. Then we can change and meet on a Tuesday. Because it was a national holiday, we observe it like we do all other holidays.
Okay.
So, and of course, that kind of aroused their interest. And the next year, then an ordinance was passed that Martin Luther King's birthday would be recognized, and we'd honor that, and we'd meet on Tuesday night.
Congratulations! A great victory. A great victory. Also, I know while you're on city council, you were still working in the community in a number of different capacities. In fact, you were on the board of My Waterloo Days.
Yes.
There's a picture of you and Terry Branstad. While you're also